Hey friends, what's up? Ash here, Gents. Hope you're having an awesome day, evening, night, whenever. Guess what time it is? It's about fall. So it's time for the top 10 fall designer list of 2022. That's right, 10 of the designer fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing most this fall. And aren't you happy that it's almost fall? Right? And aren't you happy that we're getting out of summer? Who needs summer? Oh, lame. It's hot outside. You can go to the beach or the lake or the pool. Maybe take a vacation, go somewhere really cool. All that stuff sucks. But fall is good too, because fall has Halloween and it's not as hot and the leaves change colors. So there's a lot to look forward to. And one of the things to look forward to most is the fragrances, because now you can bust out those rich, warm, sweet fragrances that you had to put in the back of your closet when it came to be summertime. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's check out the top 10 fall designers for me for this year. Gotta be honest here with you guys. It gets more difficult to do these every year because more fragrances come out, and realistically, you don't know for sure what you're gonna wanna wear in any given day. So this is like a scientific guess, a guesstimation of what I'm probably gonna wear, but it really just depends on what mood I'm in every day. You already knew that, because you go through the same stuff. I do have a few honorable mentions and a lot of fragrances to run through, so we're gonna do this pretty quick. Before we do jump into it though, those codes, Gents10 for LuckyScent.com and TwistedLily.com, that'll get you 10% off anything on the website. So if you wanna shop for some niche fragrances, indie fragrances, but you don't wanna pay full retail, go ahead and use that code Gents10 at either site. They're linked in the description, as are these fragrances. And JomaShop.com has the code Gents8, which will save you $8 off any order over $110. Joma Shop, a big time discounter with great prices and a lot of scents. All right, friends, let's do the honorable mentions real quick. First one is from Ferragamo. It's Spicy Leather. Now, I'm a big fan of the Uomo line. I actually prefer the Uomo line a little bit over this new Ferragamo line, but I'm here to tell you Spicy Leather smells really, really good, and it's my favorite of this new line. It is what it says. It's spicy leather with a decent amount of sweetness, great wearability, and good quality as well. Presentation looks really slick on this thing. Main drawback with this, kind of hard to find in the US. You can order from Harrods, and it's a decent price there. I think it's like $88. I could be wrong, but it's right around there. But the shipping is going to be high because it's coming from Harrods. Then Halloween Man X. Had to throw this in there, if no other reason than because it's Halloween Man. Fall, Halloween, you get it. I do really like this though. For an inexpensive fragrance, I think it's darn good. And it has a really wonderful roasted coffee note. And then last but not least for the mentions, the Most Wanted from Azzaro. And really the Most Wanted Parfum also. They're pretty close. Wonderful compliment pulling fragrance. Pretty much everybody loves the way that this stuff smells. The only reason it's not in my top 10 is because there's at least one other fragrance in here that has a strong similarity to this one, and I'm gonna probably reach for that over this one. That being said, I'll bust this out too, because like I said, people love it and it's an easy wear. All right, official top 10. Let's get into the business here. Okay, first up, John Varvatos XX. I'm not really a big fan, honestly, of this presentation. I don't like this charm. I don't like it. I hate it a lot. This one gets dumped on a little bit. Really, there's no reason for that, I feel like. The performance could be better, but outside that, it smells really nice. It's got a bit of a similarity to Ralph Lauren's Polo Red, and that's gonna be coming mainly from the red apple in here and the coffee. The way those meld together is going to be a little bit similar to how Polo Red comes across. It also has black currant, it has cardamom, it has sandalwood. Like I said, it smells very nice, very wearable. It's not too sweet, so it doesn't go overly youthful, really versatile, and a really nice scent. So Varvatos XX coming in at number 10. Number 9, La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum from Yves Saint Laurent. Now, truth be told, if La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique had not been freaking removed and canceled and decapitated and whatever was done with that behind closed doors that Yves Saint Laurent doesn't want to tell us about, I'm on to you, Yves Saint Laurent. If that hadn't been done, I would probably have that in this list, and possibly also in the spring list, because I really liked that one a lot. But that's okay, we'll go with Le Parfum here. Switch it up a little bit. It has pepper, it has a fruity sweetness to it. It's got vanilla and lavender. It's got a little similarity to La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette, but not a huge amount. actually. So it's a little bit interesting that it's a Lanoi flanker, but when you spray it on side by side with the original, they're not super close. It has an interesting freshness to it, actually, like fresh sweetness in the opening, and as it dries down, it becomes slightly powdery, but very, very pleasant fragrance. And it is a massive compliment puller. It's one of those scents that, to an extent, flies under the radar. People don't realize how good this stuff is. Like Varvatos XX, the performance could be a little bit better. Some people say it's like the worst performing fragrance of all time. It's not that bad for me, but I wouldn't mind a little boost. Number 8, Benz Club Black from Mercedes-Benz. I almost went to sniff the atomizer and then realized, yeah, it's not really gonna work on a bottle like this. It just look weird. Yeah, nothing, just plastic. Vanilla, benzoin, and incense, along with bergamot and wood, some of the notes in the fragrance. One of the nicest designer vanillas on the market. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. One thing I should say, most of these fragrances would work just as well in winter as fall. A lot of times there's supreme overlap with these two seasons, especially when you're talking about fragrances that I want to wear. Because as it's still warmer in fall, I'll typically just kind of carry over what I was wearing in summer. And then once it starts to cool down and the temperatures start to drop below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, I start to dabble in these. So yeah, this one, very vanilla forward. Like I said, one of the best designer vanillas on the market. If you like vanilla centered fragrances, absolutely check that out. That is awesome stuff. Number 7, The One Luminous Night from Dolce & Gabbana. This could be the best The One fragrance, and that's saying something, because The One Eau de Parfum is an absolute classic, but this one can actually compete with it for me. When I first tried it on, I thought it was good, and then even as I worked through that first impression, it came across better and better and better. And then my wife fell in love with it, and then I wanted to wear it as much as I could. It is right now at discounters. Price is a little bit different depending on where you look. I've seen it for like $75, which is frankly not that bad. I know it sounds kind of expensive for a designer, but for this one, take it. And then other places I've seen it like $110, $115. So yeah. So this has incense, amber, and sandalwood. It has the one DNA in here. One of the notes that helps set this apart is the note of dates, which really adds this interesting, sweet, almost sticky facet to it. Works out great though. Nothing bad about that. Number 6, Stronger With You, absolutely, from Emporio Armani. Love this fragrance. And this is the one that I was thinking of when I said the Most Wanted has a bit in common with at least one of these fragrances. It was this one, okay? This one. And it's rough. The Most Wanted smells great. This smells great. You know, which one are you gonna go for? More often than not, probably this one. So that's why it's in the list at 6. And the other was an honorable mention. Rum, chestnut, vanilla, cedar, and lavender. Some of the notes in the fragrance. My favorite, Stronger With You, right up toward the very top with Stronger With You Oud also. But I guess I'll keep going with this one as my favorite for now. I haven't worn Stronger With You Oud enough, but that one's real nice too. So Stronger With You leather. But Stronger With You, absolutely my favorite. And the performance on that, really, really good. So Stronger With You, absolutely. It ticks pretty much every box for what I want in a fall and wintertime fragrance. And of course, with it being a Stronger With You, the compliment factor is huge, which is one of the reasons people wear those scents so much. Number 5, Lalique White in Black. Now, if you dumb it down, this is a fragrance that smells similar to Parfums de Marly Layton, but is much more affordable. And that really is about all you need to know about why you would want to wear this in the fall. It has cardamom, it has cedar, it has lavender, olibanum, and vanilla as some of the notes in the fragrance. So yeah, yet another scent that has a good dose of vanilla. In case you were unaware, like a lot, in case you couldn't tell. So this has that sexy, sweet, spicy, latent kind of DNA, but this one has more of a vanilla forward nature to it. And with it being a Lalique, the quality is very good for the price that you pay to pick this up at, assuming you get it from discounters. And it's also a little classy, you know, it's a great scent. So Lalique White and Black, gonna definitely reach for that one. Number 4, Dior Homme Original. I have to say that now because if you just say Dior Homme, nowadays the expectation or the assumption might be you're talking about Dior Homme 2020, which is a fine fragrance, really good stuff. Came around to really enjoy that one, but I'm talking Dior Homme OG. Iris, cacao, leather, and lavender are some of the notes in this fragrance, and it's a long-term love of mine. This will always be one of the fragrances that I have at like my tippy top, you know, 10 out of 10 in the designer realm. perfect fragrances, if you want to call it that. I've got multiple bottles of the stuff, older bottles, newer bottles. I can't get enough of it, you know? Going with Dior Homme Original here over Dior Homme Intense because this one is not quite as intense as Dior Homme Intense is. Yeah, I know, that was bad too. But in fall time, this one is gonna be a little bit more wearable, a little bit more versatile, a little bit easier to pull off. So Dior Homme Original, number 4. Number 3, switching things up a little bit here. This one's from Ralph Lauren, and it is Supreme Cashmere. Remember the Supreme line? Of course you do, right? Some of you do, some of you don't, and I get it. There was Supreme Oud, Supreme Leather, Supreme Cashmere, and then Supreme Nothingness, just the void. The cold void staring back at your soul. Ralph Lauren came out with those fragrances and then that was it, you know, Supreme, done. Now, Supreme Cashmere is the one that I disliked the most at first. Supreme Leather, Supreme Oud, those ones pretty quickly. I was like, oh yeah, this is really good stuff. I like it a lot. Supreme Cashmere, for whatever reason, when I first wore it, I wasn't a huge fan. I thought it didn't measure up to Supreme Oud or Supreme Leather. So this one I was like, oh, great. You know, this is the end of the Supreme line and it's Supreme Cashmere and it supremely sucks. How wonderful. And then over time, I gave it some more wears and I kind of started to soften my stance and then I kind of started to like it. Myrrh, iris, incense, and cashmere, some of the notes in this fragrance, along with a bit of cardamom as well. It does have that cashmere in front and center. So you're gonna get that fuzziness, that aroma chemical fuzziness, and that's really what turned me off at first. But as this stays on your skin and as it dries down, you get more facets that come out that make it more interesting and make it smell better. So Supreme Cashmere, gonna rock this one this year. Number 2, Miyake Noir Ombre. Low DC Noir Ombre. I will use this moment to give a shout out to Issey Miyake, who passed away not long ago. So everybody, I would like you to pay your respects, F in the chat, to Issey Miyake. Awesome fragrance house, really cool fashion house as well. I mean, I don't own anything from the fashion house because I don't know that I could pull most of that stuff off, like the really pleated stuff, but still, huge house. And the fragrances, some of them are just absolute classics. So anyway, back to this one, Noir Ombre. I think this right here is one of, if not the best, cool weather fragrances from the house. Don't ever pay a crazy nuts in the butts price for this thing. You won't probably be happy at that point if you pony up $200-300 for it, okay? That's not good. Don't do that. Don't make the scammers, scalpers happy, okay? But from discounters, when you can pick it up for like $70, $80, amber, vanilla, leather, cinnamon, and saffron, some of the notes in this fragrance. I've said this before, this is one of the better amber fragrances in the designer world, period, ever. The sweetness here is rich, it's really well defined, the blend is very good, everything that I want in an amber fragrance. You know, that dose of spice in there that really helps liven it up. This has got it all. Love the fragrance. All right, number 1, it's time for this one. And it's not really much of a surprise, I guess, but yeah, it is what it is. Gentleman Reserve Privé. I refuse to call it Gentleman Eau de Parfum Reserve Privé, even though I just did. Chestnut, whiskey, woods, bergamot, and iris. Some of the notes in the scent. Yeah, I got out some of that iris love that I have with Dior Homme, but that's not enough. A little bit similar to Stronger With You, absolutely, only in the sense of how they introduced a boozy note, but didn't really go heavy with it. You know, didn't really go to the point that it becomes the focal point and overrides the other things there. Instead, it's just introduced as this light nuance to the fragrance, which actually helps elevate it. And then you also have chestnut in here. So it's to an extent like this, this melding of things that are popular right now in men's fragrances in the designer world. You're seeing more scents come out with iris, seeing more scents come out with chestnut, hazelnut, notes like that, seeing more notes come out with that bit of booziness to it. And this has all of that. So while to an extent, this is a product of its time, it's also a darn good one. Really classy, very easy to wear, a little bit mysterious, sexy, a compliment puller, good performance. I love it. So that's number 1. There we go, guys. We worked through successfully the top 10 fall designer fragrances for 2022 with 3 honorable mentions. Like I said, I'll link all these in the description below. Of course, pay those respects to Issey Miyake in the chat, but also let me know some of the fragrances you're going to be reaching for, at least fragrances you think you'll be reaching for this fall. Thank you for staying with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.